Game 2 on submarine. I do apologise for the strange noises and stuff. I'm not tip top here. Smarticus is our. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at NITRO and introducing Smarticus. Let's head down and introduce Smarticus. Here he is, Protoss in the bottom right of submarine, and here is NITRO in the top left of SAM. So let me zoom out a little. Maybe we want to go full zoom, do we? Big zoom. Big zoom is nice, but I don't know. I'm going to keep it there. I do like it. I'd love to be able to zoom in and out when you're actually playing. I think it'd be awesome. You can rotate. You can do that when you're playing, and you can zoom in like this. Oh, wait, like that. I have no idea why you'd want to, but you can. The only thing it's useful for, spotting observers. If you do that stuff, the observers or other cloaked units show up easier because of the sort of contrast difference that they have. It's easier to spot them because as you pan around, it's as if they're moving. Stationary cloaked units are hard to see. The other use it can have, if you've lifted a Terran building, they can be quite hard to grab if they're above another building, if you're trying to select them and stuff. So panning around can make it easier because the perspective shifts and you're able to click the building you want. Anyway, I didn't actually watch the build from Smarticus. I'm just going to assume he went double pylon gas or something equally horrific. There's 2 gateways being built. He's mining. Oh god. No side core in sight, but we're mining gas, so that's great. NITRO opening up, much more standard. There is a side core building, so he will have something to spend his gas on. No, I'm a bit grouchy. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Smarticus. I shouldn't give you such a hard time. The side core is now building for Smarticus. But look, again, this expo is bang on time for NITRO. Smarticus, where's your expo? Your men is saturated. So instead of expanding, you've just stopped building workers. That's not how this game works. That's never going to work for you. It's not a good. That's not a good thing. Literally no vision outside of his own base, none. NITRO, on the other hand, does come in, has a quick peek, probably recognizes this build as the same one that Smarticus does every time, I think. So you would probably expect then a couple of robos or something like that to come down. Shield battery here, I mean, is this because he had the fear from the previous game with the proxied void rays? But there's an easy cure for that. Scout, just send a unit around here and check that isn't coming. Just spend your money on stuff you don't need when all you've got to do is send a unit to go and look and then decide, do I need that? No, you don't. Anyway, it's going to be an Oracle, and unfortunately this shield battery, it will be in range of these workers, but it's definitely not in range of these ones. So depending on where the Oracle comes in, if it flies in around this side, it can definitely get a few kills. If you are the person with the Oracle, more important really to keep that Oracle alive. They're such quick units, they're good for scouting. The spell casting that they can do can be really useful. So is going to try and snipe a couple of workers, is definitely going to get, well, only 2 in the end. Checks for the natural, sees that there isn't one, has seen the units as well, because normally that would worry me. I'd be like, oh, there's no natural here, I'm about to get all in from one base. But he's seen that that's all the only units there are. So you can't afford off one Nexus that's only got 13 workers mining to run 2 robos. You can't. Not with, unless that's the only thing you're building with no support from gateway units. You just can't afford it. You're not going to be able to afford it, Smarticus. It's not a thing that you can do. And you've got the forge coming in, but again, with only one base, how are you going to support this economically? Oh, the Oracle comes back in. Oh, he's going for the stasis ward. I like this a lot. Oh my word. Gets all the workers except the ones in gas. Oh my god, that is literally the best stasis ward I've ever seen. Just denies mining for... oh gosh. Yeah. So these workers actually still not back to work. Oh my goodness, the dent, you know, obviously now they're back to work, but the dent in the income, that is so effective. That was, you know, assuming that your opponent would rebuild any workers that you killed, that was definitely more effective than killing 2 workers. That lost mining for that length of time, brutal. So still no sign of Smarticus expanding. On the other side of the map, NITRO has the 3rd in production. Not much, speaking of production, NITRO a little light on production. So macroing up, he's got the fleet beacon, which I'm kind of curious about. I don't know what he's going to do with the fleet beacon. There's only 1 Stargate here, and he's just built a robo. I don't know, he's chronoing out observers, so maybe he's worried that there's going to be Dark Templar or something. But, you know, with the Oracle having had a reasonably good sight of the base, there isn't even I'm so sorry. There isn't even a Twilight console, so he should be aware that that isn't the case. But you know, maybe he thinks Smarticus is hidden it somewhere on the map. Okay, so Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come in for a quick scout, and I like it. I'd have preferred a hallucinated Oracle, because your opponent knows that you've got an Oracle. So if you come in with the hallucinated Oracle, you can pull this army completely out of position, because they will move to try and kill it, and then assuming it's the real one, and then you can sneak the real one in around the back and maybe drop another stasis ward, because that was absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Right, okay. Yeah, sure. So now that the economy is looking healthy, I don't know why he's not building workers from this one. Maybe he hasn't got it hotkeyed under the same hotkey as the other 2 nexus. But anyway, the economy should be good as soon as he gets back to building workers. You can build workers 3 at a time here. You can saturate this pretty quickly. You'll have 3 mining gases, 6 gases, 3 mining bases, and that will support a substantial amount of production from these Stargates, carriers, or whatever he wants, really. With the 4th now building, Smarticus, you know, the short story is here that you're just being left for dust. Your expo is far too late. You've got stalkers, which are very mobile units. They're quick units, but you haven't done anything with them. You've just got them parked at home, living in fear, waiting for what, I'm not sure. But you know, you get out. You need to get out on the map. You need to do some scouting. You've got this warp prism. Use it, please. You know, look, there's nothing here. Look, nothing to defend. This warp prism could come in, drop 4 zealots here, and have a good time in this mineral line. Then nip round here. Actually, I say it could drop 4 zealots. He's only got 2 warp gates. Oh, he doesn't have a warp gate yet. Oh. Okay. So he could load up 4 zealots from home. He could even put the immortals in the warp prism and do some fancy immortal warp prism stuff, dropping the immortals out and just one-shotting workers, lifting them, dropping them into the main, one-shot a few workers, drop back down here, etc. I mean, yeah, the voids will catch the warp prism eventually, but you know, worth a pop. It'd be worth a try, wouldn't it? This well-placed observer knows exactly what's up. I'd like to see this go into sentry mode or whatever it's called, which increases its range of vision, but means it can't move. It's a useful thing. They actually introduced sentry mode so that when you F2 your army, you don't pull your observers out of position. That was the idea. I don't know what the point of flying you know, I love Hallucinated Phoenix for scouting, but I don't see the point in flying it into the location where your observer already is. Unless it was just to pull the army out of position. Yeah, shoot the workers, not the... oh, okay. Oh, he's going to come down here and have a good time. It's going to take the stalkers a while to get down here, so a worker pool is definitely what's required. Smarticus, run! Your little dudes are dying. Don't let them die. NITRO, unfortunately, not paying attention, does just lose the Oracle then. But with how many kills? That many kills. So 12 workers dead to that one Oracle. That's a bit painful. The income tab's just going to look scary, isn't it? Yeah, it is. 4 times as much gas being mined and easily double the minerals. Air weapons being upgraded. Let's have a look at the upgrade tab. So Smarticus, nothing, literally not a single thing, not even warp kit. It's +2 air attack and +1 air armor. I don't think he's let the cat out of the bag yet in terms of that he's going full sky toss. Smarticus hasn't scouted at all, so you know, I'd honestly be tempted to drop a Nexus here and start mining from it. Because you might as well, you know, if your opponent's just going to sit home and not come out, just literally take every base on the map for fun. Get yourself up to about 90 workers. So actually, if you're going sky toss, that's probably a bit extreme. Get yourself up to about 80 workers because you need the supply. Those carriers take up a lot of supply. And he is up on about 80 workers. So yeah, I like his position here. It is very difficult to imagine how NITRO can lose from this position. You know, he's got the bigger army. He's got more than twice the number of workers. He has got twice the number of bases. His army is like, this is what a Stargate transition with no intel whatsoever. You don't know what you're up against, and you're building, just blindly dropping a couple of Stargates. There's no upgrades for you're upgrading ground units while building Stargates. This is just so confused. And in addition to that, then you're building, you're researching Colossus range. What's it gonna? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're aiming for here. You're whipping out Colossus, but you don't know what you're playing against. And Colossus are going to be like, you know, don't get me wrong, Smarticus's army is going to wreck these stalkers. These stalkers are dead, man. No two ways about it. Actually, oh, the funny thing is, it isn't even, because if the stalkers are underneath the mothership, Smarticus won't be able to see them. He doesn't have any detection. Yeah, so it's all going to be a bit painful. If NITRO can keep the mothership alive, he will beat this without losing a unit. So the fight is coming. This warp prism, utterly pointless, still parked at home. There isn't a single shield battery anywhere near this engagement. So NITRO moves in, drops the time bomb. I'm loving this. When was the last time you saw a time bomb? And yeah, doesn't lose a unit and just kills everything. No, may actually lose the mothership here. No, not gonna. Okay, that was awkward. So yeah, that's what happens if you haven't built the right units for the job, you see. And how do you build the right units for the job? Well, what you do is scout. You know what I mean? Look at that. That has to be the single most one-sided game of StarCraft that I've seen in an EMS quarterfinal. That was beyond a mauling. That is awkward. These two units that died, maybe one of them might have been a worker or something. I think one of them was an observer that was lost to the cannons. And yeah, I mean, yeah. Wow. Anyway, there's probably some lessons to be learned there. Scout, expand. Yeah. That was it's made me feel a bit queasy. Yeah, it's just nasty. Nasty.